How did this have an effect on your marriage and your family?
Extremely, extremely difficult. So running parallel to that journey was also a journey where out of fear, in the span of about 12 to 13 months, I racked up about $25,000 in debt, what it was buying equipment and courses and different things. And what's so crazy about this part of the journey is this, Gia, is that, up until that point, my wife and I were 100% debt free, except for our mortgage. We had paid off
Wow.
6 figures in debt, like student loans, cars, credit cards, consumer debt, like everything. And so I went on a independent journey to racking up more debt. And this was 2018, 2019. And my wife, you know, found out about the debt. Now, what's so crazy is that in my heart of hearts, it was never a thing where I was like, oh, I don't want her to know. And I was like doing everything in my power to hide it, right? She was always a little bit, look, babe, like, I know you have cards. I know you have like other things going on, like with business, but like, just make sure that like if it gets out of hand, that like you tell me before it gets to that point. And in my manhood, in my warped view of manhood, in my warped view of what I thought, being a good husband was, I shut her out from that process of me struggling. And what I thought I was protecting her from was actually one I would say was the apex of hurt in our marriage. So much so that, man, I didn't know if we were going to make it out of that season. And so, since then, over the last couple of years, it has literally been one of the most amazing redemptive processes to see, you know, parallel to this whole entrepreneurship journey and identity and faith and relearning like who I am like in God, all these different things, to where trust has had to be rebuilt as well, And so I would say the toll that it took, man, was definitely not for the faint of heart. And so honestly, man, like, but for the grace of God. And so my wife has been incredible to be like the patience is just it really is supernatural. I think also her ability to persevere and to truly see me in the midst of my confusion, in the midst of me like figuring things out, and in the midst of me being insecure about a lot of like unused muscle. Because like whenever
Mm,
you are, an employee, there's just a lot of different things that you don't have to consider or think about. You know what I'm saying? But then when you begin to have to manage your own budget in business, and invoices, and figuring out your sweet spot of pricing, and all the while still having to deliver, that process it can be messy. It can be super
yeah.
messy. And so that woman for sure is God's greatest gift to me, for sure.